Alright, y'all, welcome back to the channel. My Boston Celtics took a 2-1 lead against the Philadelphia 76ers. Thank God. I really thought that we were going to end up losing this game considering Joel Embiid was getting his MVP. They were celebrating. Everybody was happy. Before the game, I was actually watching Doc Rivers' interview, and he seemed to have all smiles ear to ear. It was looking like the Philadelphia 76ers were going to pull out this win before the game even started. Immediately, I was proven wrong. The Boston Celtics started off the game hot as hell, 5 for 5. Defense was there. Everything was looking good for this Boston Celtics team. Jason Tatum looked amazing. However, there's one thing that I have to say about Jason Tatum. I do not like this man taking as many threes as he takes. I've been saying this the whole entire season, and I think that it stands true for Jaylen Brown and Marcus Smart as well, because I feel like they all operate better when they're driving to the rim, when they're getting contact, when they're like showing their physicality on the basketball court and actually drawing fouls. I think that that's when they work best. I think Jason Tatum works best in the mid-range. I think Jaylen Brown works best in the mid-range. I think Marcus Smart works better in the paint. Everybody else can just fall back and take threes. That's how I feel. And I think we saw a little bit of that last night because Jason Tatum had an abysmal shooting night from the three. He shot 3 for 11. He actually had a couple good threes at the beginning of the game, right when the game started. However, after that, his shot was not falling. I'm talking catch and shoot threes. Calls for a pick. Al Horford sets him a pick. Gets a three. It's a brick. And don't even get me started on this man's ISO threes. It's really, really irritating because he gets the ball, he catches it at the wing, just jab step, jab step, jab step, and then just throws the ball up, and it's a clink every single time, like the defender doesn't know what he's about to do. It irritates the hell out of me because I know how good Jason Tatum can be, and he does not operate well when he's doing that. Marcus Smart and Jaylen Brown also did have bad shooting nights from the three. However, the difference between Jaylen Brown and Marcus Smart and Jason Tatum is that Jaylen Brown actually stopped taking threes. He only shot 4 threes. He didn't make any of them. And here's the thing. I don't know if Joe Mazzulla is telling Jason Tatum and Marcus Smart to continue taking the threes that they take, maybe because it's a high percentage shot in Joe Mazzulla's eyes. However, from what I have been seeing all season long, all 82 games plus the playoffs, Jason Tatum and Marcus Smart do not operate that well shooting threes. They just don't. It's just not going to work for them. However, back to Jason Tatum, it's clear that his touch around the rim was way better than what it was in game 2 because he only had 7 points. He shot 1 for 7 in game 2. And this goes into my next point. The discourse around Jason Tatum whenever he has a bad game versus whenever he has a good game are two polar opposites, because when you see Jason Tatum go for 30 or go off for 40, you see people saying, oh, he's a top 10 player, oh, he's better than Kevin Durant, he's better than all these other guys. But then when he has a stinker like he had in game 2, you see people like turn their back on him saying Jaylen Brown's better, Jason Tatum's motor is low. There's just so many things that people say about Jason Tatum that are not true whenever he has a bad game, and it irritates the hell out of me. Yes, Jason Tatum is a streaky scorer. I will give him that. However, I would like to say that he has more good games than he has bad games. And it really does feel like people are just waiting for Jason Tatum to have a bad game so they can get off their nasty, disgusting takes like Jaylen Brown's a better basketball player, or Jason Tatum does not know how to perform in the playoffs, like he doesn't have 3 Eastern Conference Finals under his belt and 1 NBA Finals appearance, like his numbers aren't translating in the playoffs damn near every single year. But the one thing that I can give Jason Tatum haters is that he does have a 4-point drop-off from this season. However, his assists have gone up, his field goal percentage has gone up, his 3-point percentage has gone up, his rebounding has gone up, his turnovers has gone down, and people don't really look at that type of shit. They see that Jason Tatum shot 1 for 7, they see that he got into foul trouble, they see that he scored 7 points, and they're like, you know what, Jaylen Brown better. Jaylen Brown better. It irritates me. It really irritates me. Stop box score watching. Watch the damn basketball game. As for Jaylen Brown, he continues to play very good defense on James Harden, picking him up full court damn near every single possession. That's what I like to see because that sets the tone for the whole entire game, and that sets the tone for James Harden tonight. And we're going to talk about James Harden and the Philadelphia 76ers later on in this video. Y'all already know what's coming. And let me know if I'm bugging when I say this in the comment section below, but I feel like we're seeing a different side of Jaylen Brown than we have seen previously in the playoffs, because I feel like he's playing with a different type of physicality. He's playing so much more level-headed than what he was playing back in 2021, and we're seeing the two-way star that he can be, like he was showing us back in the 1920 season. This is the Jaylen Brown that I have been waiting for. He had 23 points, 7 rebounds. He shot 8 for 18 from the field. As I said previously, he shot 0 for 4 from 3. I love everything that I'm seeing from JB this series. I just absolutely love it. He's genuinely my favorite player in this series because of everything that he's doing defensively and offensively, man. His game is just absolutely a treat to watch. And another guy whose game is really fun to watch when he's actually hitting his shots is Al Horford, because the man, he hasn't been good all series. He has not been good all series, shooting 29% from Atlanta and into Philly. He has not been good up until this game. Because if you guys don't know, Al Horford, before the game, he was getting asked a bunch of questions by a bunch of interviewers, and one of the interviewers asked him, hey bro, you've been shooting 29%. I'm not gonna lie to you, you've been pretty ass. How do you prepare for games, and how are you coming out tonight and looking to respond? And while the man was answering the question, he called himself an elite shooter, and everyone laughed.
I'll continue to shoot him. Even throughout the season, I went through, ups and downs. That's just a part of it when you're an elite shooter. You're gonna get him up. You're laughing. You don't think I'm an elite shooter? I do. My numbers don't support it.
They do.
And he was like, you guys don't think that I'm an elite shooter? You guys don't think that my numbers prove it? The man was shooting 44% from 3 in the regular season, and he showed it tonight. He showed why you guys do not talk shit about Al Horford. You guys don't laugh in front of his face. He had 17 points today. He had 5 threes today out of 7 attempts, and he was absolutely amazing. He could not miss, bro. I just feel like the Boston Celtics came out today with way more poise than the Philadelphia 76ers. They came out and they played way more physicality throughout all 48 minutes. I mean, you even had Robert Williams come out. Granted, he did have 4 fouls, but he did give you 3 blocks in 16 minutes of play. You don't really see that from most backup bigs in the league. So I do give props to Robert Williams. Malcolm Brogdon came in, hit his threes. Derek White, he played very good defense. Grant Williams, he had an amazing game today defensively. But just an overall good game from Boston. They go up 2-1. Hopefully they can win the next game to go back to Boston with a 3-1 lead to close it out. That's what I would like to see, because we don't play around over here, man. We don't play around over here. But the one team that loves to play around are the Philadelphia 76ers. I'm about to get on their ass. It really does bother me how the most unhealthiest man on the Philadelphia 76ers was the only person to show up to play today. But before I shit on the Philadelphia 76ers, I need to give Joel Embiid his props. I need to give him his flowers, because he just had his MVP ceremony last night. And I'm not going to lie to you, it was a one-of-a-kind NBA moment. That was one of the greatest moments that I have seen all season. And I was like, you know what? Let's get to beating their ass after. But the MVP is well deserved from Joel Embiid. Me personally, I think it should have went to Nikola Jokic this season. And yes, I am changing my mind on that. I know in my video I said it should have went to Joel Embiid, but I changed my mind last second. I think it should have went to Nikola Jokic. I feel like Joel Embiid should have won it last year. I do not think Jokic should have won it last year. But that's just me. But tonight, on a grade 1 sprained knee, he gave you 30 points, 13 rebounds, and get this, 4 blocks on the night, bro. And 3 of those came in the first half. This man, Joel Embiid, is looking like 2019 Embiid back when he was looking like modern day Hakeem Olajuwon, bro. And it really sucks because Joel Embiid had a very good game tonight, but absolutely nobody followed him. I mean, you got Tyrese Maxey. He had 13 points. He shot 4 for 16 from the field, 3 for 9 from 3. You had PJ Tucker. Yes, he was hitting his threes. However, they were leaving him open like a motherfucker. You got Tobias Harris. He only took 6 shots. But there's this number 1 guy that I need to talk about. You guys already know who I want to talk about right now. James Edward Harden. The Beard. El Chapo. Honey Bun Harden. Jimbo Slice. James Harden, where the fuck were you at, bro? Where have you been? You haven't been here since game 1. I'm on your ass. I'm on your ass. Ladies and gentlemen, playoff Harden has returned. He has returned. 16 points, 11 assists. That's good, right? Shot 3 for 14 from field. Is that good? No, it's not. 2 for 7 from 3. Is that good? No, it's not. The man has combined for a total of 5 for 28 from the field in his past 2 games. James Harden has not been good. This Boston defense is way too much for him. And I'm not even going to say that the Boston defense was way too much for him in game 2, because I personally feel like his shot just wasn't falling. However, this game, he was absolutely clamped up. James Harden has returned. That 45-point game was a fluke. We all knew it. Everyone and their mom knew that what the Philadelphia 76ers were doing in that first game was just a complete fluke. You had Tobias Harris looking like he was about to get another contract like he got back in 2019. You had Tyrese Maxey going crazy, getting his shots, getting to the rack, and making his threes. You had James Harden going off for 45 points, something he hasn't been able to do since 2020. And I'm not about to sit here and say that 45-point game was not fun to watch, because it was. However, we all knew that that was not going to be sustainable for the whole entire series. I feel like James Harden had the hot hand going into game 2. I really do feel like Doc Rivers should have just kept the ball in James Harden's hand and had him take the bulk of the shots rather than Joel Embiid, because he's coming off of a really bad injury. So you keep the ball in James Harden's hands, have him run the whole entire offense, have the offense be ran through him, and call it a night. Maybe you would have actually seen different results. However, there were some times in this game where I do feel like they should have gave it to Joel, because he was actually making his shots. Nobody else was doing shit. You give the man the ball. There were times where I've seen James Harden go off of a screen on Malcolm Brogdon. Yeah, Tyrese Maxey in the corner, and Maxey was asking for the ball. Didn't get it. James Harden took a crazy step back. You also had times where James Harden was taking on 2 guys at once. Pause. The decision making with James Harden was bad tonight. I'm not gonna lie. But I mean, you can't really fault the man too much, because the Celtics defense were swarming in on him as much as they could. This gets into the title of this video, and I think I'm gonna title this video something like the Philadelphia 76ers are frauds, or the Philadelphia 76ers are pretenders, because you got this motherfucking team, bro. You have Doc Rivers, Joel Embiid, James Harden, the leaders of this team, who are all perennial playoff chokers, and you think that they're gonna go to the NBA Finals after everything that they have showed us in their past? You have Doc Rivers, the coach who has blown the most 3-1 leads. You have James Harden, who shows up as much as he wants in the playoffs, but when the going gets tough, the man vanishes. You have Joel Embiid, who consistently continues to get injured in the playoffs. When is enough going to be enough? We have been waiting for this damn team to complete the process for ages now. For ages. I'm talking about 10 years at this point, bro. And all we've gotten is a Joel Embiid MVP and no Eastern Conference Finals appearances. That's disgusting. Something's got to happen. As good as Embiid is, he cannot stay healthy. And this Philadelphia 76ers team is going to go as far as Joel Embiid takes them. And if he's not taking them far and he continues to get injured, we got to look at Embiid and we got to fault him for this, man. However, I feel like this series, and in particular this game, is just a collective effort. A collective effort of just nasty, lethargic basketball. And it's like you got this team celebrating an MVP. You got this team celebrating a game 1 victory that they barely won by 4 points. You have this man James Harden gifting Joel Embiid Rolexes. You have Doc Rivers letting their star player go out to LV and go to strip clubs during the playoffs. This team is not ready to win a championship because their eyes are not on the prize. Their eyes are not on the promised land. They're not looking to win a championship. They've been wanting an MVP and they got it. They got it. Their season's over. They're not winning this series. I feel like I spent too much time talking about the Boston Celtics and the Philadelphia 76ers game 3, so I'm not going to really have that much time to talk about the Nuggets and Suns game 3. What I want to say is, if you have to rely on Devin Booker scoring 47 points and Kevin Durant scoring 39 while nobody else is in double figures, you're not winning the series. Good luck, Charlie, on that one, bro, because holy shit. I really did feel like everybody on this Denver Nuggets team played their part on the defensive end. Christian Brown, Bruce Brown, Aaron Gordon playing really good defense collectively on Kevin Durant the whole entire series. He has not been having a good series this whole entire time, and he has not been having fun. However, tonight he had 39 points. He did his thing. He still was not shooting good this whole entire game. I want to say that he did not have a good game despite having 39 points, because obviously he was getting to the line. Majority of his points came from the line. However, his jumper was not falling at all. Jamal Murray also had a very good game up into that 4th quarter, because I feel like the man was just taking way too many threes. I feel like you had Jokic. He was staying consistent basically the whole entire game, and I feel like Jamal Murray needed to give the ball to Jokic more in the 4th quarter. However, that 3rd quarter that Jamal Murray had, he was on a burner, man. I feel like that's why he was taking so many shots in the 4th quarter, because the man had the hot hand. But that's all I got for y'all today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. This was a very long one. I'm actually going on 43 minutes on this recording, so I don't know how long this video is going to be, but that's all I got for you today. Hope you guys like this video. Leave a comment, subscribe, and I'm out. Peace.